to show us
All right, we got hip hop's biggest flops. See what it's talking about.
who they really are. But unfortunately for a lot of hip hop stars, it's becoming increasingly common for them to discover that when they try to put out a full body of work, the fan base isn't listening. Whether they've lost their buzz or hip-hop's ADD-afflicted audience have simply moved on to the next thing that's popping, it's become all too common for an artist who once seemed like they were about to make a big splash on the billboards end up struggling on the charts or not even making it there at all. To make matters worse, the extreme lengths that rappers go to in an attempt to prove that they haven't fallen off often end up digging themselves even deeper into the hole. It's your boy Luesta, and today we're diving into some of hip-hop's biggest flops, along with the downright cringe-worthy responses from the rappers themselves.
What the fuck
so
happened to
let's start with a young man whose attempts to escape
so
the genre's shadows majorly backfired on him. When Tommy Richmond first emerged with his viral TikTok hit $1 Million Baby, it kind of felt like it had come out of nowhere. But the truth was that he had been on his grind for years beforehand. Releasing singles as far back as 2019, the classically trained singer had tried his hand at everything.
My nigga Valjeet from Phineas and Ferb making his that's usually the culprit of these hip hop vids, bro. I hope you know that, bro. Like 99% of them hip hop fucking Twitter pages and all that shit is all Valjeets and shit, nigga. They cool though, but like the shit they be saying, they be making you think 2 times because they be saying nigga a lot, bro.
It was the woozy, dirty South sound of $1 Million Baby that stuck and landed him a platinum-selling #1 record in several countries. He would have had the #1 spot in America as well if it wasn't for a little beef between Kendrick and Drake. Yet, that's not how the Virginia-based artist saw it going down. Instead, the young man who signed to Brent Faiyaz's label ISO Supremacy figured that he would blow up from the album that he was prepping at that time.
It's really not how I imagined it. I really thought that like I was gonna put out this album and that's how I was gonna blow up off of.
Never liked that song anyways.
This guy, like
body of work.
I could respect that it sounded different, but it wasn't really my cup of tea either. But I could respect it. He did what he had to do. Nigga went up off it.
Yeah, this body of work and I mean I used to like really not like post on TikTok. I posted on TikTok throughout like 2021 for like off.
99% of the time nowadays you're not blowing up off an album. It's gonna be a song off the album maybe, but you're not blowing up off a whole album, nigga. Come on, let's be realistic.
Off and on for 3 years, but I was just like, all right, let me just post like 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Post over and over again, and we made that song like a week before in one post, and the craziest thing is that like I work with like a good team. These people post like an independent label, and they do a lot of cool stuff. And bro, we post that, and it's like there's no marketing behind that, there's no money behind that at all. It's just like it's
clicks.
It's one big organic moment, and it literally caught fire. They're making jokes on Twitter, and it's like the Twitter jokes went crazy, and yeah, it just took a life of its own, and shit changed our lives.
I know this nigga was that dude.
The project in question, titled Coyote, is his second full-length album and arrived after he had already hit it big with $1 Million Baby, alongside its relatively successful follow-up, Devil Is a Lie. And in interviews, he had grand ambitions for the record and made it out like it was about to be a classic.
December of last year.
Wow. That
been working on this shit.
Yeah.
And like even before like the songs that went crazy, we've had this body of work that we really believe in, trying to like execute this concept we've had for so long. And I don't know, man, really trying to like build the world, because I feel like we've like a lot of people lost touch with just like building out characters, building out worlds. And
You're right on time. You're right on time.
However, it was unfortunately anything but that. Alongside getting pretty average to negative reviews, the project also went on to sell just 3,400 copies in its first week. Immediately,
that's less than an underground, nigga. I'm gonna keep it a band. That's tough. Having a #1 hit and selling 3.4K, I don't give a fuck. That's crazy, nigga. That is crazy, nigga. And I think it's because he didn't put his most popular song on there either. I'm not gonna lie, I would have did that, nigga. I would have put that $1 Million Baby right on the top, nigga. Keep it a buck.
Pretty baffled how it could have gone so wrong. But what probably didn't help is that in the lead up to the project's release, he took a leaf out of Post Malone's book and declared he wasn't a hip-hop artist.
Oh, brother, he turned on the niggas that made him. That's where you get cooked.
Traditionally, this is a move which some white artists make, and it historically doesn't go over well. Especially if you clearly garner success by piggybacking on hip-hop culture. Sure enough, this time was no exception.
Now is not the right
time.
Oh,
brother,
for
no, literally.
I'm
oh,
not
fucking brother.
I have no problem with I'm not just a hip-hop artist, or I'm much more than just a hip-hop artist.
Or shut the fuck up and enjoy your wave. You don't have to admit you are to nobody.
Yeah, why are you even tweeting What we
Nigga, let niggas interpret the music for what it is, bro. You don't gotta say I'm not a hip hop artist. Like, come on, bro.
talking about? We don't. Why are you even tweeting? All you gotta do, you got the easiest job in the world, Tommy Richmond. Shut the fuck up.
So, no matter how much he backpedaled, it still couldn't salvage the opinion of him for a lot of people. The reason being that it
I didn't
immediately
even know you
portrays
said
the
that. I just
artist's
ain't listen to that
ungratefulness for the success they've got by taking from the genre without really putting much effort to give back. He didn't have to say anything, could have just locked and said nothing. It makes him sound ungrateful for the push he got off the backing of hip-hop. When people show you who they are, believe them. Although Coyote was undoubtedly a huge flop, you could argue that he deserves some kudos for not manufacturing numbers by adding $1 Million Baby and Devil Is a Lie onto the track listing just to boot.
He ain't even put the other song. Oh, that nigga tweet. I don't give a fuck. He ain't put either of his two biggest songs on that bitch. That's how they manufacture them fucking sales, nigga. Cause I guarantee you, if that shit would have said he sold like 25K or something, he would still be on right now. Cause niggas wanted to clown him out of the fucking industry. I don't know though.
Streams. But even that has divided opinion. At least he didn't add his 2 hits on the album.
I heard about
props
bro
to
since
him.
he
That's
dropped
an
that
L.
shit.
His only decent songs aren't on the record, LOL. Failing to chart on Billboard's Hot 100, this would have fallen.
Like, at least he didn't put his two biggest. What does he gain from not? He gains more from putting them on there. Why didn't he put them on there, nigga?
Way below
They got
what
a
he
sweet
likely
potato on his
projected
nose.
based
Yeah,
on
he's
the
dangerous
attention
too,
he
I ain't gonna
garnered.
lie.
And if he's lucky, he'll get another
He got
chance
that
to
Rudolph
overcome
shit.
it and find real success. But as Coi Leray's journey tells us, that doesn't always come easy, even with repeated
She like a
attempts.
little man
Exploding
right
onto
there.
the
That shit
scene in
kinda scary.
2019, Coi Leray had many identities within hip-hop in a short space of time. She tried every flow in the book to varying effect. But it was No More Parties alongside the remix with Durkio, which pushed her to fame after it popped off on TikTok. In this respect,
my
she was
favorite
actually
Minecraft
kind of a
skeleton?
pioneer.
We dropped No More Parties on an off day, Wednesday. And, you know, I took advantage of the TikTok and all of that. And at that moment,
Now that one
everybody
picture
tried
of
to
her,
shit
bro,
on
when she
me.
got that
Like, oh, you're
jacket
a
on and her
TikTok
shit like-
artist and all this other stuff. And I
That
was
shit
like,
is
man,
crazy, bro.
listen, little do y'all know, all right? Listen, I'm a, all right.
You knew something
Whoa.
different. You was like, okay.
I didn't give a fuck. Once I knew that the TikTok drove streams, I'm
Damn.
about my money and I'm about strategy. I don't have no time to have pride and ego on people that's gonna be like, oh, you're a TikTok artist, and standing third. Cool, if you don't appreciate the music and you hating because you can't do it the way I did, then that's cool. But check the numbers out because TikTok is helping me go crazy. And as you can see now, everybody's on TikTok.
But while she had eyes
about
on
to say, that
her, she was
TikTok
fighting
artist
an
shit, that shit
uphill
is
battle
dead.
after becoming a meme
Yeah, everybody a
following her
TikTok artist
dismal
nowadays.
performance in the XXL freshman freestyle.
You get money, yeah. We all get money, yeah. Bitch, you all get money, let's go. Ay.
Coi Leray twerking as if her freestyle wasn't ass enough. Plus, let's not forget that she's the daughter of Benzino, a man that Eminem reduced to
one
nothing
to
short of a
number I need to go,
punchline long
indeed.
ago. And as much as she tried to outrun it, the shadow still lingers. Somehow, Coi managed to keep pushing, and in 2022, she dropped her album Trendsetter via Uptown and Republic Records. And it's fair to say that in the lead
She
up
was
to
a
the
pussy song
project,
merchant.
she
What
put
the
a
fuck?
lot of work into it.
How many songs do you record?
I
Her and that
recorded
Ice
like
Spice
over
bitch.
300 songs within these 3 years.
Damn.
I swear.
An all-star affair with features from Nicki Minaj, Fabio Foreign, Polo G, and others, all signs suggested that she might have had a hit on her hands. And Coi even cockily claimed a
Oh my
chart
God, that's that
topper was
fit.
on the way.
I know album
That's
on the way.
that
We
fit
get
where
it
it's
this year,
like-
next year. What we thinking?
You're getting the album next year for sure. I've never dropped the album, so keep in mind I'm fresh off tour with no album.
Polo
all over
G,
the line with no
yeah.
album.
Boy, slow
When I
down.
do drop it, it will be #1 everywhere. Like, and I can't wait.
But it's
Polo G sold himself. I'm not gonna lie. He sold himself. Nigga didn't drop an album for like 2 years or something. He should have knew his black ass fans wasn't gonna wait that long, nigga.
fair to say that this
Like, come
comment
on.
came back to bite her on the other end. Debuting with just 11,000 first week sales and a peak performance of 89 on the Billboard chart, the record's release was disastrous when you consider the expectations she had for it. It got so bad that even Benzino trolled his own daughter over the project's lackluster performance. Once it was all said and done, however, Coi went on the defensive and suggested that the
11K not
numbers
even
were
that bad. Is
irrelevant.
what's
So I
crazy.
dropped my debut album, Trendsetter. Everybody was like, yo, 11K, 11K, 11K. You know, I guess like academics and everybody was like, you know, posting, doing whatever they got to do, right? But it doesn't bother me because I think about it. I've done got nominated like over 6 times for so many different things. I've already been on Billboard, you know what I'm saying, from No More Parties and Big Part and the remix, like the original and with Dirk. Shout out to Lil Dirk.
Hello.
And just with twinning them and, you know, I done performed at every festival stage. So I feel
Nah, she did have hits. Whatever. I think this was 2023. She had hits on that bitch. I ain't gonna lie. She was going crazy.
Like, a lot of people expected so much from me, and they really didn't even look at all the things that I've accomplished without the album. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, and even then, if you look at the numbers, like 11.5K is equal to over 300,000 streams within like 3 days I had. And
Undeterred, Koi got right back into the studio, using as many nostalgic samples as she could. A track which borrowed the beat from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Fives is The Message. The success of Players suggested that she might have had more.
Bro, motherfuckers be sample merch. I know I keep pausing, but motherfuckers be sample merchants nowadays, nigga. Like, they remix old songs and then add their little spin on it, and then it's an instant hit because niggas already know the original song. That shit be annoying, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Luck
that
this
should
time
be
around,
annoying.
as it provided her with her first real hit on the charts. And in the lead up to dropping her sophomore album, Koi, she claimed it was her most personal record.
It don't be no
I don't know,
original
I'm getting
music
in
no
depth.
more.
Like, I feel like I have to tap every
She look
subject.
good, I'm
I go
good.
through so much, I always write through experience. So whether it's about relationships, love, you know, with Man's World, I get very vulnerable. I feel like, you know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a letter to my dad, but it's more like an open journal. And just, you know, instead of social media and things like that, like, I really, you know, it's about putting it in the music. So I did that with Man's World, and even with Bitch Girl, like, I'm talking my shit.
Once again,
Bitch
even with
Girl.
a big single and a supporting cast which included EDM kingpin David Guetta, the project performed even worse than its predecessor. When Trendsetter didn't exactly reach the highest heights of the billboards, Koi only moved 10,000 in its first week, not even cracking the top 100. Still, she did what she could in an attempt to put a positive spin on it. Grateful to have an album on the top 200 for my first week of my album release again. This time with 3 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. Whoa, I'm super proud of myself.
Bro, that fucking
Bigger
emo,
and better
bro.
year every time. Keep streaming #Koi. It's an amazing project. She wasn't the only one who was shocked, and rappers like Boosie Badass also couldn't believe it. Coi Leray should have sold at least 100K in the first week. Nobody recent got more hits than her. Either this shit is rigged, or celebrity kids just get hated on when it's time to swipe. My family is going through the same shit. We ain't stopping though, believe that. At just 27 years of age, Koi still has plenty of time to try and get an elusive hit album. But what happens when you bet your career on big numbers and still fail? Well, look no further than the difficulty Tusi is facing at the moment. A multi-talented artist with the capacity to sing and rap with equal skill, this New York artist has been doing his thing since 2017 and quietly became a star. And at times, he has found success. His debut project, Poetic Pain, sold 30K in its first week, while 2023's Najor went gold despite peaking at number 19. But even though he's doing better than many people, Tusi was unhappy with his place in the industry. In various online rants, he maintained that the profit margins aren't where he wanted them to be.
Rap ain't where it used to be. Sales ain't selling no more. Fucking, like, motherfuckers is not buying tickets like that no more to come to them concerts. Like, you feel me? The economy fucked up.
You not lying though.
Like, what? And these people want you to hold.
I didn't even see that, so you just said it on God. You look like Keith Lee, nigga. What the fuck? Him, Keith Lee, and DDG is really triplets, bro. That shit dangerous.
Music, this shit fucked up out
That shit dangerous, boy.
I do rap.
That's a weak ass triplet, bro.
Feeling like he wasn't getting what he wanted out of the game, he needed a Hail Mary to put him back on everyone's radar. And as a result, he made a bold statement to his public ahead of the release of his new project titled Jaded.
Put it on my life. If my project don't at least do 20,000, I will quit rapping. Y'all got my word. I'll quit rapping. I'll go get the some other way.
With this, he had put it all on the line, and it was make or break. But unfortunately, this didn't pan out the way that he wanted it to, with the album selling only 17K in its first week. Ouch. Since then, he has been...
I ain't gonna lie. You can't say that and then do that. You can't say that and then do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. Damn, his forehead poking like a bitch. Oh my God, but you can't say that and do that, bro. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad, bro. He gotta retire now. That's bad. That's bad, bro.
understandably trolled.
His album Jaded has debuted at number 50
basically
on
begging for
this
sales.
this week's Billboard 200 album list, and it only sold 16K. Holy! Now, keep in
this
mind,
fat nigga
everybody's
funny, bro.
selling around 20K. I wouldn't even make no mention of it. It wouldn't even be a big deal. But Tusi himself came online. Nobody told him to do this. Nobody asked him. Nobody challenged him. But he came out of his own ego, his own arrogance, and he volunteered this, chat.
But rather than be a man of his word, Tusi has immediately tried to walk back his daring claim. Now, he says the intention was to get the record company to help him promote the project.
I saw something that you had said that if you didn't sell a certain amount of records with this album, you were going to quit.
Facts.
You're not serious about that.
Number one to find a job.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, dude, first of all,
Nah, I just wanted to light a fire.
I'm not gonna lie, after being a rapper and being at whatever level he was at, he was mainstream to an extent. He had a hit song, nigga. You can't go back to working a regular job. It's impossible, bro. You gotta trap or something, nigga. I don't know what you gotta do, but you cannot work a regular job, bro. Fuck no. Maybe like a college degree type job, but nigga, you can't just be at the local fucking dollar store fucking doing my cashier job. Like, come on, bro. You can't be at the local dollar store checking my shit out.
Label ass.
Yeah, go buy the fucking album.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to light a fire on my label ass.
But at the end of the day, he just made himself look pretty untrustworthy considering how badly his publicity stunt had backfired. Basically, he played himself.
That's impossible,
because
bro.
if he hadn't made a big deal out of aiming for 20,000 plus, then 17K would have been a
Imagine seeing
respectful
Jay-Z
outing.
at Arby's, I'm
Particularly
saying.
when you consider what other
Like,
artists
that's
who
impossible,
popped off
bro.
in the SoundCloud era have experienced.
I don't know if that's pride or that's just like it's something, bro. Something don't seem right with that.
Just look at the horrifying downfall of Smoke Perp and the flops it's led
I wouldn't
to.
even do
Among
that,
the
nigga.
biggest stars to emerge from that SoundCloud rap wave that took over the entire internet, the Florida native was a producer and rapper who seemed to have a whole host of potential. At one point, it was even reported that he was scouted by Travis Scott to sign with Cactus Jack.
Basically, I already fucked with Travis
This
Scott,
nigga
like
needs
his
an
music.
Arby's job?
And then one day he just posted like he didn't even post a video. He was on
Smoke
Instagram
Perp.
Live, like just
I wouldn't be
listening
that
to my
surprised if
music.
he
And
was
then
working
people
at the
just started
local-
tagging me, and I saw it. And
local
I just,
fucking
I hit him.
Walmart.
I'm like, yo, I really fuck with your shit. And then, he told me
Cash
like,
my
like
shit
it was
out.
like the same thing. Like he really fucked with my shit, and then we just linked from there. We were just cool from there on.
After tracks like Audi and Nephew racked up platinum plaques, Smoke Perp looked to be capable of ascending to
Never
the
mind, that nigga had
upper
a
reaches of the
platinum.
charts when he finally
I
dropped
saw a video where his concert had 5 niggas. Hey, that's 5 more niggas than me. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but damn, nigga, that follow up is vicious.
his debut
5
album,
niggas.
particularly when his mixtape Dead Star 2 landed at number 42. But its studio album sequel, Dead Star 2, didn't meet expectations, nor did it recoup on the investment that he and the record company put into it. When asked how many songs he recorded for the album, he responded, maybe like 500, 1,000? My manager just told me 800. Producer Apex Martin can vouch for me. I don't do anything but go to the studio. My label was getting mad at me. I wasted $2 million recording Dead Star 2.
I bet you out of 1,000, or he said 800, out of 800 of them bitches, 8 of them was good. I bet you.
Peaking at number 137,
Wasn't even a
it was a
venue, it was a
project
bar?
which should have signified to Perp that if he had to go back into the lab and
Yo, I
finish a
hate
fresh
hating,
new
but I love
sound,
hating
that
at
would
the
help him
same time,
to
bro.
evolve. But instead, he pushed forward and dropped Florida Jit less than 7 months later. Here's where the real credibility-damaging flop came. His 4 million followers only translated to 4,000 first-week units, while even features from the likes of Jack Harlow, Denzel Curry, and Rick Ross couldn't help matters.
That means
Some
big
fans
features
blamed
too.
his
Jack
failure
Harlow
on
at the
his
time, nigga. That's a big feature, nigga.
refusal to really advertise it. Just checked on
Don't worry, Van. You the next Vaughn. What you mean like that?
his Insta and there is zero promo
you
on
mean by
there
that?
except for the cover art. But at that time, it's not unfeasible that Perp likely presumed his name alone was enough to sell the project. Since then, he's never been able to recover, getting clowned online for half-empty shows in the process.
This what you talking about, bro?
In essence, this meant that he
It's like 20 bitches in that hole. I ain't gonna lie. He got more niggas in that bitch. My Twitch streams be having. I'm gonna keep it a buck. So he doing something. But damn, nigga.
fulfilled the 1985 prophecy that was laid out by J. Cole, which said what was coming for the brash young SoundCloud kids.
Oh shit.
When they them kids that's listening gonna grow up and get too old for that shit that made you blow up.
We got the
Now your
philosopher
shows
Cole. Oh
looking
my
like
god.
They don't show up. which unfortunately means the
What's he
money's
gonna
slower.
say?
But he's not the only one. In fact, the man who once dropped a track declaring fuck J. Cole and led to 1985's creation entirely has had a similarly painful fate. A longtime friend of Smoke Perp, Lil Pump became the brash poster child of his era for a little while, with tracks like D-Rose and Gucci Gang, as well
I ain't gonna lie, Lil Pump was big enough to where his fall off, it was inevitable, but he did what he had to do.
as collaborating with
Lil
Kanye
Pump.
West on I Love It. Pump seemed to have the world
They got a
rocking with
Kanye
his drip-heavy,
collaboration,
drug-infused approach to rap.
more do you really
His
need,
self-titled
nigga?
debut
No
album
Diddy.
sold 45K in its first week, while its follow-up, Harvard Dropout, sold 48,000 units too, and suggested he was heading towards those high sales figures that rappers envy. But things swerved way off course. Over time, his formula started grating on people, and a rebrand as a Trump supporter probably didn't help.
MAGA
He a Trump
2020.
demon.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And do not vote for Sleepy Joe at all.
So by the time he dropped No
I
Name
hated
with
that
Ronnie
song.
J, the world had already decided he was irrelevant. Now, he was looking like a cautionary
that my
tale.
mama
The way
told
Pump's
me
career
love
nosedived
won't
is
be
insane.
shit.
He was for sure a
That
SoundCloud
song
forerunner. He's like 6'9", rich and irrelevant. Surprisingly, he still didn't take the hint. In 2023, he tried to make a comeback with Lil Pump 2, but this time, it didn't even make the charts, likely selling around 40,000 less than the first one. To top it off, the music got roasted by critics.
But now we're learning this lesson even harder this time around, and that is whatever youthful energy and sort of punchy, direct approach
Yeah, the
that he
youth moved on
had
from
on
this
the
nigga.
debut Lil Pump tape, that is gone, and hearing him try to alter it or grow it or advance it in some way is just not working, and yeah, it's just still not working. And on top of that, as he attempts to do other things, things other than, you know, what he sort of broke on the scene doing, he tries and he fails utterly because he is just a really a one-trick pony who doesn't really have the capability
This album
to
was
do
worse than
anything else
damn
musically
Wi-Fi. Okay, bro.
other than, you know, walk
I ain't
in
even
there like
listen
a
to that
boss.
shit.
Ooh, which, I mean, song's a banger.
Now, it felt like everything Cole had said has since been true, but still, to this very day,
Nah,
he maintains
Philosopher
that he
Cole, am I
hasn't
right?
fallen off.
Do you feel like he predicted kind of like what ended up happening with your rap career?
Nope.
No.
Because I'm still here. I got. I own
I'm not
two
saying that
houses.
I'm not saying that you're not like still fucking rich and successful. I just mean in terms of like, you know,
Okay, so he fell off rap-wise, but he never fell off financial-wise.
I feel like there's so many parts of that era.
I feel like
of
that's a
rap
good trade-off.
where, like people got fame so fast, they were so young. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that was some of the
Surprised this nigga was
foresight
smart
that he
with
was
his money,
saying.
though.
Not even necessarily about quote
You
unquote.
wouldn't expect
falling
Lil
off,
Pump to
you
be
know
the
what I
smart
mean?
one with his bread.
The smart thing for Pump to have done is to have been self-aware of his longevity. He should have known that he was a fad. The people that listened to him were teens, and they grew up and got tired of that SoundCloud era. Speaking of fads, there are some who believe that the current female rap wave we're in might not be sustainable. Often, these women have a couple of hits and a whole host of buzz when they post online.
Oh yeah, come on, you playing with BK though. Like the rest of the shit could go, but BK nigga, come on, bro, chill out.
But it often doesn't translate to actual sales. And if you thought Coi Leray flopped, you ain't seen nothing yet. Exploding onto the scene with her 2017 debut single Icy Girl, it seemed entirely possible that Saweetie was going to emerge as a real star to watch for in the future. However, things haven't exactly panned out that way. While she has had fleeting moments of relevance, such as tracks like My Type, Tap In, and Best Friend with Doja
Yeah,
Cat,
she's
those
garbage.
have
She
been
look good,
increasingly
though.
scarce since that first buzz. In fact, the last time that she broached the Billboard chart was when she landed on there
nasty.
alongside
You
her
talking about that
with the
shit she
track
be
Closer.
eating?
The song was originally slated for her debut album, but to date, it still hasn't emerged.
Bitch be eating
And
diarrhea.
it's very possible that the failure
about
of her
Lucky
next
Charms and
EP,
macaroni,
November's
nigga,
The
you
Single
crazy?
Life, might have had something to do with it. Despite her huge online following, the project only
Damn.
landed 2K first week sales.
Damn.
In response, producers like Sunny Digital couldn't believe what they had seen. 13 million followers, hundreds of thousands of likes on all pictures, and the album sold less than 2,000 copies. That's crazy. The math ain't adding up. If I had millions of followers and my album sold 2K, I probably would just delete all my social media because y'all are...
Oh god, you got. I bet you all 13 million of them niggas is fucking gooners, nigga. None of them bitches. I'm not bitches. None of them niggas care about the music, nigga. They just want to see that ass, nigga. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They gotta be gooners, bro. That's the only option, bro. That's the only option, bro. That shit said. Hold up. Rewind, bro. I'm done talking, bro. I'm done talking. I'm done talking, bro. I'm done talking, bro. Bro, I almost just started crying, bro. Bro, why am I shit doing this, bro?
13 million followers,
Bro.
hundreds of thousands of likes on all pictures, and the album sold less than 2,000 copies. That's crazy.
13 million
The math
to
ain't
2,000
adding
is
up.
crazy,
If
though.
I had millions of followers and my album sold
He said, what
2K, I
she
probably
put
would just
Lucky
delete
Charms
all
in
my
her
social
fucking
media because y'all
macaroni,
are
bro.
lying to me. He continued. Before I came up to give my opinion, I did listen to the album. I actually listened to everything that dropped that day, just out of curiosity to see what the competition was on. The whole thing had producer Hitmaker at a loss too, who believes that someone at Warner
You
must have
not
dropped
dead
the
ass.
ball. Saweetie selling 2K is bad A&R vibes. Someone's supposed to tell you this ain't it. I also have issues with her having multiple platinum singles and not sticking with the same formula that got her there. Someone gotta get fired. As we know, the internet can be merciless when someone has
Yeah,
a
she
very
deserved to
public
fall
failure.
off.
And
That's
this
crazy.
was no exception. Especially when people began to compare her to Glorilla, who had nearly 5 times less followers and still sold way more.
Glorilla, 2.5 million followers. Sweetie, 13 million. Okay? They got roughly about the same songs on both of their projects. Glorilla, who is with less followers, does 30K first week on an EP. Sweetie,
She
with
make better
10 million
music.
extra followers, does
It's obvious.
Even when she tried to defend herself, it totally backfired. I make music for pretty bitches. If you can't relate, I understand. Damn, I didn't know there were only 2,000 pretty bitches in the world. Man, that's savage. With only an EP to her name since, Saweetie hasn't exactly sorted things out. In fact, she is still fighting to be known
What the
as
fuck is that editing?
since Saweetie hasn't exactly sorted things out. In fact, she is still fighting to be known as something other than Quavo's ex or the other girl on Best Friend with Doja Cat.
Well, why you do that to me?
Because I wanted to make sure it was you.
That's all I got?
No, that ain't all you got, but
You know, because I'm the icy girl.
Pretty
I
much,
was
I know they
missing
210
McDonald's. I had a
pounds.
Mac campaign. I done broke some records.
Nah, she really did have a McDonald's collab and she sold 2,000. That just kind of put it into like perspective for me. I'm not gonna lie. Damn, bitch.
Only time will tell if her long-awaited debut album, Pretty Bitch Music, can fare any better, but we wouldn't count on it. For Saweetie, it seems like she's just never been able to get out the starting gate, and is unfortunately just seen as eye candy by most of those
Yeah,
people
nah, she
who
look
follow
good,
her
though.
online. But on other occasions, a flop can result from an
McDonald's
entirely
needed
different
to
set of
work at
circumstances, where someone who was once on finally finds that all their momentum
Nah,
has
chill on-
disappeared.
chill
in
on
the
Fetty,
wind.
though, chill on
And
Fetty.
This is where you get stories like Fetty Wap.
Chill on Fetty,
Exploding
bro,
out of
chill
New
on
Jersey
Fetty.
with singles like Trap Queen, Fetty was an unlikely star. However, his unique vocals and inherent
Nigga, I'm not gonna lie, he had enough hits to where it was like the fall off was inevitable, bro. He had his run, bro. It's not like he didn't have a run, nigga. Come on, bro.
talent for melody
Not every artist can stay around forever, nigga.
meant that his first album sold over 300,000 units at a time, when those numbers would have still been very impressive from a legend of the
potato
game,
nose.
never mind a
What you
novice.
talking about, bro?
And at the time, he was savoring the superstar life that a #1 album will bring you.
Call me that nigga, watch your mouth, bro.
Oh my god. Yo, it's the fucking zoo.
That nigga.
But
That
since
nigga
then,
Fetty Wap,
it's
though,
felt
that
like
nigga
every
tough,
little
I ain't
thing
gonna
has
lie.
gone south. After issues with his label 300 left him on the shelf, Fetty became aware that he was falling off in real time.
I know for a fact I was clearing 100,000 every day. Now, the day I woke up and I only made like 40,000, I'm like, some shit ain't right. You get what I'm saying?
Only
and I'm
made
like,
40,000.
40,000,
Okay,
30,000.
nigga.
Hey, we want to book Fetty for 50,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. This is what time?
This is the end of 2017.
Okay.
And I'm just like, all right, it's happening. I'm like, this where shit start getting dark.
When asked about what happened, he claimed that there had been something that had gone wrong, but suggested there was a way out. Bad business managers, greed, and selfishness. But it's almost over. He wrote in the comment section of
Isn't the story
IG when
kinda
someone
sad?
asked why he fell off.
I think I know.
got
Didn't he
rid
have
of
like
all
a whole
that goofy
fucking-
shit
he had
around
a drug
me.
ring
Now I can
going on,
focus
nigga.
on the music, and I'm going the fuck
Nigga
up.
was shipping pounds
Just
out this
watch.
bitch.
Sure enough, Fetty returned to the music world after that. But unfortunately, the albums The
Shipping
Butterfly
kilos
Effect
and
and King Zoo haven't charted whatsoever. If you told someone in 2015 that this would happen to Fetty, I promise you that they would not believe you. But that's only one side of the story. Once the money dried up, Fetty revered back to hustling, and at the moment, he's serving a 6-year sentence for drug running. As a result, his journey
Yup.
is seen as a sad example of what happens when careers go wrong.
This whole story is sad.
Yeah. Like, dog, he
you
did
ain't
it.
supposed to have as many hits as he got.
He did it.
Yeah.
No, he did. He did it.
He did it. Like he beat the game. You know what I'm saying? He got dragged back in. That's crazy to me.
In Fetty's case, he represents a rare occasion when an artist has reached the summit of the game, only for flopping projects to lead him back in the opposite direction.
I can't speak for us. I know Fetty Wap the rapper, you know. Yeah. I don't know no drug dealing, you know, like that. But of course, I see a lot with local rappers, and you know, especially with local rappers, you know, because once you spend all your money and you got to go back to what you know. I see a lot of happen with. I see it more happen with artists that's not at the top, that haven't been to the top, than rappers who have been up there. I ain't never really seen it with rappers who already up there, then go back all the way to the streets, you know, like heavy in the game.
On the subject of the top of the game, we have none other than Jack Harlow. Now, you might be thinking he's a funny addition to this list.
Who you just
After all, he's a superstar, right?
Is that one of the
well,
bots?
in truth, young Harleezy might be famous, but he's never really...
Damn, he coming after... Hey, yo, what did that nigga have on? Hey, yo, I don't like this pause, bro. Spam bot, appreciate that, bro. Them niggas keep coming in my shit. What the fuck do bro got on, though? He coming for everybody in this vid. I ain't gonna lie. What the fuck?
Delivered on the charts the way his label nor he likely ever expected.
I'm not gonna. I thought Jack Harlow was like the next Eminem on some shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That nigga was going crazy for a little bit, and then it all just kind of stopped. I'm not gonna lie.
After putting years in on the grind as a teenager, Jack Harlow found his success when he linked up with DJ Drama and Don Cannon's Generation Now label. After hits like What's Poppin' and Tyler Hero, he was looked at as hip-hop's next great commercial star, particularly with movie roles lining up and an adoring female audience who decided he was a Riz master.
I'll see you in there.
Can't wait. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Riz master.
Combine all that with the runaway success that the track First Class, which sampled Fergie's Glamorous, he looked like he could really be the one. He even started to believe it himself.
J. Cole
being number one is what made M so hard. He was in the dog pile, Harlow said. I want to be the face of my shit, like the face of my generation for the next 10 years. We need more people in my generation that are trying to be the best. And you can't do that with just ear candy, vibe records. You gotta come out swinging sometimes. It looked like he was set to be crowned with the release of his second album, Come Home the Kids Miss You. It pretty much seemed like the whole world was behind him too, with Lil Durk remarking that he told Jack Harlow a couple days ago he gonna do 200K first week. With its all-star cast of collaborators including Drake, Pharrell, Justin Timberlake, Lil Wayne, and a whole bunch of other legends, Jack billed this to be the record that would define his artistry.
You'll be able to hear a big difference between this one and the last one because I'm so involved in the production and, you know, the arrangements and the sound selection, the chord choices. Like, I just had my hands all over this. I think I was picking some beats out of packs on the last project. You know, I would get a beat and that would be the finished product. This time, everything was cooked from scratch. I wrote so many of the records while the beat was being made in front of me. It's just everything kind of came from this ground up situation.
But when it dropped, it seriously failed to ignite imaginations the way he imagined. Originally expected to sell around 180 to 200K, it ended up selling around 110, comfortably handing...
Oh no, that's calm, right? 110 not even crazy. See, he can't be in a follow-up video, nigga. 110 is not even crazy, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
The #1 spot to Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti.
Okay, that's that gay. That's that gay Puerto Rican nigga, bro. You can't beat that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Them Puerto Rican niggas ride for that nigga. That gay nigga, he be going crazy.
Reviews were brutal, with the album being savage for its lack of originality and surprising depth of
2.9.
personality. Although he sold 110K, it still felt like an L in relative terms. And it's one that he's been trying to regroup from ever since. Not given the green light to go and be the megastar in the way that he hoped, Jack then tried to tap back into his roots with the 2023 follow-up of Jackman. This time, there were no big names or blockbuster singles, just bars. And it only sold 33K. And although it was meant to prove that he was still invested in his craft, all it really did was confuse people.
I think the demo for Jack Harlow is 15 to 33. The fuck is he doing here? Yeah, that's why this is weird to me. Because he just sold way too many records and they put way too much money in him just now. And he did all right.
This feels like it's trying to be his rapper album.
I don't know, but I know you have to spend money to get a return. And this is silent. This is quiet. So I would be interested to see. This sound like less than 30,000 copies.
Sure enough, Joe was actually right on that occasion. Now, Jack has bounced back upon his latest single, Lovin' On Me, and for almost a year, he remained silent. Another rapper who remains silent for the most part is Polo G, who just so happens to be the next entry on our list.
I ain't gonna lie, this nigga used to go crazy, you know, like, I think that was like 8th grade, 9th grade, niggas used to be on this nigga's dick. I ain't gonna lie, bumping that Polo G through the fucking hallway, like it out they phone just like this, bro. That shit was so annoying.
Bigs up to be one of the biggest artists out of Chicago for the newer generation. Polo G has made countless smash hits over the years, including songs like Rap Star, Go Stupid, and Finer Things. And while his rise in the game has come with his fair share of controversies, his albums always sold surprisingly well. From debuting with 38,000 first week sales for Die a Legend to 99,000 for The GOAT, and then peaking at a massive 143,000 units for Hall of
Yeah, when he dropped that Hall of Fame album, he lost me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. His first album is still tough though.
Fame, it seemed like his sales were only destined to keep climbing higher and higher. However, after an extensive 3-year hiatus, his latest album, The Hood Poet, was his worst selling project to date. Despite being packed with A-list features such as Kid Laroi, Lil Durk, Glorilla, and Future, and even the use of the good old I might retire after this one marketing gimmick, his album came and went, and only sold 24,000 units in his first week. It's pretty clear that a few outside factors may have pulled his focus. For one, his brother Trench Baby is currently facing serious legal troubles, including being charged with murder.
He dropped it, I didn't even know. I'm not gonna lie, I knew. I did not listen to that shit. I did not. I'm gonna keep it a buck. 24K is beyond booty though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. For a nigga that was selling 140 something before that, you would think he's going up at least, or at least staying stagnant. Nigga dropped 24 on a nigga.
On top of that, Polo G himself was involved
like
in legal
underground nigga
troubles
numbers,
that
bro.
prevented him from dropping.
Because what happened recently with your the Hood Poet was supposed to release and it didn't release?
Yeah,
Well,
I end up.
that was because you went through some shit, right?
Yeah, I end up going through some like a little situation, you know, and that just caused me to push my album back. I actually too, like I just wasn't feeling like the time was right no more. Like with everything that I had going on, I wanted it to be like a smooth rollout, like something that I was used to.
He was also recently arrested in LA for weapon possession, which further added even more distractions to the mix. Plus, the music itself was pretty ordinary and didn't offer anything new or exciting.
Yeah,
it was more of the same, and that likely left fans disinterested, tired of hearing the same old sound without any fresh twists.
But I feel like we've already experienced
yeah, I'm saying he's
this
doing podcasts
polo
with Bradley
before.
Martin
We've
and shit.
already
Wrap it up, dude.
experienced this style.
What does Bradley Martin
already got?
What does Bradley Martin know about music, nigga? Wrap it up, nigga. I'm not gonna lie. Wrap it up, nigga. Time out, nigga. Wrap it up, nigga.
Peak polo years ago. So it's like, how much more polo can we get that we haven't already heard?
Now, Polo is on record saying he'll never do another long hiatus in between albums again, which shows he realized the negative effect it had.
I'm definitely not gonna ever do this 3-year, 2-year break shit ever again in my life.
Yeah, you should know.
Factors like these, alongside with his transition to a more sober lifestyle, could have played a role in Polo G's disastrous album rollout. At the moment, he and his team are likely doing everything they could to avoid another flop. Because, as this list should have taught you, the stain often stays around, and eventually, it might even define your career if it's dramatic enough that the whole world hears of it. And if you want to hear more about...
Okay, shut up, nigga. I can't believe this is the nigga making these videos, though. This kind of blew me. Where a Little Baby? Let's see when he drops that album, that Wham album. We gonna see.